What if you could transform your nervousness before an interview and use it to your advantage? In this video, I'll share 4 powerful tips you can use immediately to be more confident in an interview. Plus, I'm slipping some extra advice near the end of this episode, so be sure to watch the full video. Now let's start calming those nerves. Tip number 1. Visualize your success. Stress can often give us mental images of the worst case scenario. So combat this by creating images of your best case scenario and hold on to them. Once you can see it in your mind's eye, it feels like a possible reality and it's easier to achieve it. Use this to your benefit as you prepare for an interview. Focus on the desired outcome. Picture yourself dressed for success and delivering strong responses to interview questions. Really explore why you are the best person for this role and be convinced of what you have to offer. If you have watched this far, give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Tip number 2. Fight the fear of being caught off guard by preparing thoroughly. It is absolutely normal to have a fear of being unprepared for an interview, no matter how much work you have done ahead of time. However, this fear often heightens when you feel like you could have done more to prepare. So give yourself an edge by conducting strong research on the company, the job you are pursuing, and, if possible, the interviewer. In particular, the job posting can be incredibly helpful in the interview prep because it explicitly tells you what the employer is looking for in a top candidate. Focus on the keywords and phrases pointing to the desired skills, strengths, accomplishments, and qualifications for the role. Being prepared also includes setting yourself up for success by researching the time taken to reach the destination or testing your Wi-Fi. In either case, have your resume ready for easy reference and to point out important strengths and accomplishments in your background. Finally, another important part of your interview prep is to practice projecting a professional presence. Consider some of the key traits of a professional, like being approachable, motivated, resourceful, engaging, respectful, and knowledgeable. So show your professional presence by demonstrating these traits throughout your conversation with the interviewer, while also dressing for the part. Remember the most important rule that says you should always dress for the job you want. And if you're still feeling a bit anxious after you have taken all these steps, remind yourself of what you have done to prepare and feel confident in knowing you have done everything you can do. If you do find yourself unprepared despite all of this, our next tip will help you out. Tip number 3. There is power in taking a pause. Let's face it, we often feel pressure to respond instantly in an interview. We are aware of the limited amount of time we have in that meeting, and we often want to seem prepared for every question. This can lead us to fear silence and rushing our responses in order to seem confident. Yet, a rushed response can backfire. Fast doesn't always equal quality, nor does it always communicate confidence. We can come across to the interviewer as being too nervous, reactive rather than reflective, and uncomfortable with critical conversations. So if you're rushing in an interview or you're asked a question that takes you aback, remember the power of the pause. If you need a moment, you can absolutely say, "That's a great question. Let me think about that for a moment." This actually communicates thoughtfulness, confidence, and willingness to take control over the pace of the dialogue. And for a question you don't fully understand, you can combine the pause with a brief question such as, "Can you clarify the question a bit further?" Again, these things suggest self-assurance, intelligence, and deliberateness that a rushed response often lacks. Tip number 4. Remember to breathe. It may seem like a no-brainer, but there are habits that can either enhance our breathing to fuel our cells with oxygen or restrict our breathing, causing anxiety. A brief, deep breathing exercise while in your car, before an in-person interview, or right before you click the connect button for your virtual interview is really helpful as a way to center yourself and allow a sense of calm to flow with your breath. During your interview, be sure to sit with a straight back and open posture. When you lean forward or slump down into a chair, you're working against your body mechanics and restricting airflow in your lungs. Good airflow means your body and brain are getting enough oxygen to keep you focused. If you find yourself feeling a bit short of breath or starting to feel flushed during the interview, simply sit up straight and remember to breathe. You won't be taking deep, exaggerated breaths. You will be focusing on natural, energizing breaths, and the interviewer will never notice. Remember that your good body posture, whether seated or standing, allows for proper breathing and projects self-control and confidence. As promised, I'm sliding in this extra bit of advice to inspire you to interview with greater confidence. If during an interview you feel yourself losing focus or rambling in your responses, recap what you just said. Take roughly 10 seconds and use a positive, conversational tone to smoothly restate the interview question, your answer, and if applicable, an impressive result you achieved. In your mind, press the imaginary reset button and start drawing upon the interviewing stories and scripts you prepared and practiced in advance for the interview. Your goal is for each of your responses to end on a high note. Now let's do a quick review of the 5 tips I offered to be more confident in any interview that's in your future. First, visualize success. Tap into the power of positive psychology to pump yourself up and remind yourself that you were selected as a top candidate for this job. Second, fight the fear of being caught off guard by preparing thoroughly. Third, leverage the power of the pause to recenter yourself and show that you are reflecting and carefully considering your reply. Fourth, remember to breathe. Good posture supports good airflow, and this means your body and brain are getting enough oxygen to keep you focused during the interview. And don't forget my 5th bonus tip. Avoid rambling by recapping the key points of your answer. This is such a powerful action step because you're showing awareness and adjusting your behavior in the moment. Remember that being invited to an interview is in fact a real accomplishment. So pat yourself on the back for getting this far. If you find this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And for more such videos, I recommend checking out our playlist. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.